Hi, good afternoon or morning to everybody. Hello, I am excited to be here today to chat with you about book marketing and specifically for you self-published authors and even then non-fiction self-published authors. This is primarily aimed at, I'd love to chat with you about how often you should be promoting your book. So first and foremost, hello, I am Dr. Beth Brombos. I'm a #1 best-selling author and the human behind Blogger2 author, and I'm really passionate about helping bloggers and other content creators take their content and turn it into a book that's going to help them build their business and just do a lot of amazing things for them and what they are trying to do. So I wanted to, again, to go back to the topic, chat about book marketing and how often you need to be talking about your book. I know that a lot of us were really busy. We're trying to do a lot of different things. And especially for those of you who are listening, most of you are not trying to just make a living selling books. You're not trying to primarily be authors. Oh, your book is part of a larger business and you're using it to help visibility and authority and credibility, authorability, combine those together. And you are looking at it as a way to, again, help you build a larger business. And so your goals are going to be a little different from somebody who is just trying to be an author and just trying to make a living off of royalties. And so that gets to my first point, which is that I think to figure out how often you should be promoting your book, you need to figure out what your goal is for your book. What's the #1 thing that you want to be getting out of your book? Do you want to focus on selling a lot of copies and do you want that to be a major part of how you make money? Then you'll need to spend more time talking about your book. And that means posting about it several times a week on social media, consistently telling people about it, consistently mentioning it to your email list, maybe putting it in a PS or in your signature, a link to buy the book, but just constantly be telling people. And then also planning content around your book and figuring out how you can drive people to go buy your book. So for example, if my main goal for my business was to sell books, then my call to action for every live video I did would be to go buy Blogger to Author on Amazon. But that isn't my business strategy and it may not be yours either. You may, like me, see your book as just a part of a larger business that you're building and a larger strategy. So this is especially those of you who sell courses, who sell strategy, or you are a strategist, you're a coach, that sort of thing, or services as well. This would fall for those of you who are service-based businesses. And so in that case, I think you need to figure out how your book fits into the bigger picture. And in a lot of those cases, you don't need to be mentioning your book as often on social media and in your emails, that sort of thing. Essentially all the marketing you're doing. You could mention it, I think, several times a month. You should be at least making people aware of the fact that it exists. Make sure that you are doing regular calls to action at least once or twice a month where you're asking people to go buy your book so they don't forget about it. People will forget about it. I know I certainly forget about some friends who have done certain things, whether it's published a book or maybe they've got something else going on, just because we're all busy and we can only hold so much in our brains. And so maybe somebody wasn't ready to buy your book when they first followed you or when they first subscribed to your email list, but maybe it's been a couple months and they've gotten some really valuable content from you and they are ready to buy now. And so sending that email that tells them about the benefits of your book, maybe in a paragraph, maybe in a PS, or maybe it's a full sales email for your book. But if you do that, once they've gotten to know you, they're going to be more likely to buy your book. And so I do think that you should be at minimum selling your book or in some capacity, whether that's through social media, your email list, that sort of thing, at least a couple times a month. People need to be aware of your book, that it's available, where they can buy it. But again, for those of you who want to make your book a larger part of what you're doing with your business, you need to be spending more time on that book marketing, and you need to be devoting time to strategies and even beyond just mentioning it on social media and mentioning it to your email list. You need to be getting in front of new audiences, talking about your book on podcasts, doing live events and speeches and talking engagements, especially, in your local community is a great place to start with that. But it's just different strategies for where you're at. So my take home here is that you need to, again, sit down and figure out your book and where it fits into your business and what your overall vision is for your business. And then you need to devise a marketing plan that fits those goals. If you have any questions about book marketing, first and foremost, I would love to hear them. I'm moving into sort of a segment, my content calendar, where I'd like to do some more talking about book marketing. So to do that, it would be helpful to know what questions you have about that. So especially those of you who have already self-published your book, let me know what questions you have. Even those of you who sell an ebook on your website or somewhere else, I'd love to hear from you as well. What questions you have about how you can, get more people to buy your book. And especially if you have specific questions that are more than how do I get people to buy my book, they're, I guess, in greater depth, I'll be able to give you better answers to your questions. Also, if you do need help coming up with an individualized marketing plan, I do offer book marketing strategy sessions. You can learn more about those at blogger2author.com/strategy. So until next time, I'm going to sign off. Again, leave any questions you have about book marketing in the comments. I would love to hear them and love to answer them in future videos. And until next time, happy writing. I will see you later.